Hey pals, welcome to the next Shred Showcase with Luke Jeansonne. I am pronouncing his name right because I am manifesting that. I am the queen of sometimes pronouncing names strangely, but he is incredibly talented. Again, he was also a part of Jared Dine's Shred competition prior to the Biggest Shred Collab 5. So, and he's right on this. He's already sending me a request. Happy New Year, and I wanted to congratulate you on your insane solo for the Jared
Appreciate
Dine
it.
Club. That was pretty dang insane. You really shredded
Yeah.
that.
Oh God, it was trying to practice that, and it was a lot, but
Yeah,
I got it done, and it paid off. So
yeah, sure. I bet the pressure was on, but you
oh, for
definitely,
sure, yeah,
yeah, definitely
definitely.
ended it up. So we're gonna get right into it. How
All right.
are on you that you used for the collab? Tell me about what kind of guitar it is, and feel free to show it to us.
All right,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
I got it sitting back here. I'll go grab it real quick.
Yay! Very cool. I'm sure we'll probably get some comments of people wanting you to play it, so be prepared for the
Oh
pressure.
God, yeah. If I'm warmed up, hopefully I'm not rusty. But
Oh, you good? You good?
anyways, this is the guitar that I used. It's the Schecter, I think, C7 FR SLS Elite is probably my favorite guitar I've used next to my 9 string that I have sitting back there. But it's definitely one of my favorites for sure. It's got the Fishman pickups in it, my absolute favorite pickups ever. Scale length is I think 26.5, which I think is that's my personal favorite ever on a 7 string. Um, and yeah, it's got the Floyd Rose on it, which I use occasionally. It's really
Dude.
fun, and it just feels and plays great. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah,
So
Lloyd Roses are epic. I mean, I know they can be a bit finicky sometimes. I hear that.
yeah, you kind of just have to learn how to set them up and just use them. But once you know how to do everything, it's not really that bad. People complain about them a lot just because they are annoying to deal with. But once you know how to do it, it's just it just takes a while. But
Yeah, facts. That comes with time, I guess, all that
yeah,
setting good stuff. But yeah, the Fisherman pickups, those are freaking epic too. So you got a solid guitar there,
yeah.
really solid. So what was your process for writing your solo on the collab? And are there any rigs or plugins that you would like to shout out on this
All right.
live? Maybe manifest endorsement or something in the future.
Maybe. I'm gonna start with the plugins and stuff like that. So the plugin that I use to record my solo for everything, I use the Neural DSP Archetype Petrucci. That is by far my favorite plugin ever. I use it for both my rhythm and lead tone, and it just sounds incredible. And I actually do get questions pretty frequently about what tones I use. So for anyone wondering, there you go. That's what I use for my tone. Archetype Petrucci, 100%. Best plugin. And as for writing the solo, this one was a little weird because I kind of wrote it backwards almost. So I'm one of those people that will write everything in Guitar Pro. So I'll just open it up. I download the backtrack, I listen to it, and I just started trying to come up with stuff really. And that's just what came out of it. But like I said, I kind of wrote it backwards with this one. That's just kind of how it worked out. I don't know why. But that whole second half of my solo, that was written first before anything else. And I just kept moving back until I finally figured out okay, so I want this first part to just start out like this. And then once we get to this part, start adding in harmonies. Then I'm going to switch to this kind of harmony. Just then I kind of had an idea for how I wanted it to flow, how I wanted it to be structured and stuff like that. So.
That's really dope. And you know who you kind of sound like right now? Tim Henson. Or
Wait, really?
um
Yeah.
I've never interviewed them personally. However, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do know that their songwriting methods, they kind of start with Guitar Pro, or at least they did in the past.
Yeah.
And then pick a pop song riff or something, say an Ariana Grande song, and then they just backwards. They reverse the track, they play it backwards, and then they apply a guitar riff to that.
Yeah, honestly, if you want to make something unique, you honestly don't really have to do that much to come up with something that's kind of original. Like if you just take something that already exists and just kind of like spice it up a little bit, then there you go. That's your own, you know?
Yeah.
It works like that sometimes.
Yeah, that's honestly really dope. I've never had an interview where somebody's like, you know, done like the backwards thing where they like reverse the solo and write it that way. That's like really cool, guitar pro wise. That's awesome. Yeah, we got a few comments saying that you are Tim Henson's twin. So hello.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I have been trying to copy him for a while, at least the look, but I mean, I guess it's kind of working, you know.
Got you. Hey, the niche, you know, got to cater to your niche, whatever that is. But you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. So what is your favorite scale or mode to work with? I know there's like a lot of theory people in these chats and they're all about it. Throw it out.
Yeah, I'm not really like, I know a little bit of theory. Like I know like basic stuff like modes and like I know certain names for like, you know, different patterns or whatever, but I'm not huge on it. But my favorite mode, I'd probably have to say Lydian. It's just, you know, it's very melodic. It's very like spacey, very like dreamy. And I'm like all for that kind of stuff when it comes to melodic stuff. 100%. I love that kind of sound.
Yeah, I agree. That's a definitely really good one right there.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff you can do with the modes. Sometimes you don't even need to know a lot.
Yeah, you really don't. It's mainly just like listening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like guitar playing is a lot of just patterns. And, you know, the way everybody learns is different, but if you have a solid understanding of the modes and how to move them up and down the neck, you're pretty much solid, you know, at least having a songwriting foundation. So what can listeners expect from you now that the Jeansonne Shred collab has been released? Are there any other collaborations coming up, perhaps with anybody that was featured on that collab? Or are you just kind of staying solo, focused on pushing the content out there?
So for a while now, there's like this online like band / project I started with a couple of my friends. And that's definitely something that can be expected, that you can expect to hear sometime this year. We've been working on stuff for like a while now, for like the past 1.5 years or so. And it's taken a while because, you know, this is like our first time doing just like recording stuff in general and just, so, you know, it's been like a whole learning process. And, you know, we ran into like a few roadblocks where we had to go back, change some things, but it is all starting to come together. We're really close to having, we're working on like an album right now. We're really close to having it done. All the guitars and the bass are finished for the songs. I think we need like 2 more songs left to finish on drums before those are finished. And then vocals just need to get added, and then it's going to be mixed and mastered, things like that. And then that will be released. And I have a really good feeling with how it's going to turn out. It's sounding insane right now. So.
Nice. I'm super glad to hear that. And I think I might have actually come across that post. Was it like one of your super recent?
Yeah, there was a couple days ago I posted a riff that I had written that's going to be on that album at some point. And I posted a few other videos too that has some stuff from it. So yeah, it's gonna be sick for sure.
Definitely can't wait for that. So you heard him, everybody. If you are from my page, kind of just hopping on to our online crowd here, just go on over Luke's page. And your last name is pronounced Jeansonne, right? Or Jeansonne?
It's pronounced, it's a French last name, so it's pronounced Jeansonne. It's okay. Everyone messes it up. Everyone messes it up.
Okay. Anyway, yes, disclaimer, I butchered your name in the beginning, but very fancy name. Yeah. Gotta love those French names.
Yep.
Yes, I knew it. I knew somebody would ask for some shred. However, these Shred Showcase interviews are a bit shorter than my typical Communicate episodes. So with that being said, I have 1 or 2 questions left for Luke here, and then feel free to type some questions down below. And if you see any that you would like to answer, definitely just hop on them. For example, we got Random Brandoni. He says, how many hours a day do you put into your work and practicing? That's our first question.
So, I mean, it's mainly just like literally any free time I have, I'm playing guitar. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's like I go to work, I go to school. Other than that, I mean, I'm just playing, you know, so.
That's how you get good, you know?
Yeah, you just play all the time. Keep playing.
And I used to have a similar rule, you know, even like when playing TV or something, just put your guitar in your lap, unplugged, and run through scales, you know? It's just very, very important to keep your fingers moving. don't get rusty, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So we got another question here. Do you know any bro job songs?
Oh
Is
my. Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know what the hell their most popular one is. The one with Lucas Man on it. I know that one. I listened to their Christmas EP that they released around Christmas time. That was hilarious. But yeah, they're like a meme band. They're funny. I love them.
Very nice. For me personally, I have not heard
Yeah.
of them. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
it's weird. It's stupid.
I like stupid shit, so I'll add that to my roster
It's
for sure. Okay, so we have to ask the Dave Mustaine question because Jeriel comes on every single time. I'm not sure if you noticed, but he says, if you could
the
ask
Dave Mustaine guy.
advice, what would it be?
Wait, I'm sorry, what was that?
If you could ask Dave Mustaine for any piece of advice, what would it be? If you're even a fan, like
how to make my hair grow faster.
good answer. Win answer. Yeah, I saw somebody comment that, so another win answer there, for sure. Witty answer. All right, everybody. Like I said, we are going to stay on for maybe 5 to 10-ish more minutes, so feel free to type us some more questions down below, either in the comments or in the questions tab. We love to kind of keep the convos going with whoever is tuned in. Yeah, Jeriel says respect right there. So let's see, like, tell us a bit more about your project that you have going on and what your inspirations are in terms of metal and any other genres outside of metal, because I think that's always interesting to hear.
So anyone that knows me and like has followed me for a while knows that my absolute biggest inspiration of all time is from Rings of Saturn. And as you can see back here, I have the this wall flag right here of one of their albums from Legal Tien, which is honestly, that's probably like my favorite album of all time from any band, to be honest. It's got every single thing that I love about it. Just pure, just shredding insanity, amazing blend of just heaviness, dissonance, but also like melodic parts. It's got everything that I love, really. And so yeah, that's my biggest inspiration for sure. So a lot of like what I do in my projects is mainly revolved around that sort of sound. But I'm also very into like the progressive metal stuff. So like Animals as Leaders, Polyphia, Intervals, all that stuff. I'm super into like all the instrumental things like that and whatever. So that is something I like to listen to a lot. Like pretty much all I listen to is just either like, death metal, deathcore, that sort of thing, or just the progressive stuff. But yeah, I've always stuck with playing the deathcore stuff just because like that's kind of just what I grew up with first. It's what I mainly got into before all of the instrumental nerdy stuff. So yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but
that's a really good answer. Like very detailed, like good stuff. And yeah, Luke from Rings of Saturn, Luke Mann, he was actually
Lucas Man,
yeah, he was actually on one of my previous shred collabs with Bradley Hall. So that's
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, he was like, he does the crazy like video game sounding stuff.
Yeah, that I'm all for that, 100%.
Freaking awesome, yo! It's like I would want him to write for the new Mario movie coming out.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be sick. But also, what's his name? Joel, who also plays in Rings of Saturn, Joel Omens. He's like a huge inspiration for me when it comes to like melodic playing and stuff. Like Lucas is really good with like all the super crazy like atonal, like dissonant, that sort of thing, like the creepiness stuff. But Joel is like very good with the sort of melodic, like spacey kind of stuff, which is what I really like. So a lot of the stuff that he does, I pick up from him, and I also try to implement in my playing. So yeah, both of them are like really huge inspirations to me, as far as like technical ability, just practicing, wanting to get better, and for songwriting. So
really dope. It's like a really cool blend. You got the crazy riffage and then the ambience too. It's like a nice balance. So we got two questions in one right after another. Our Malilo says, what was your first guitar? Followed by another question that says, what is your favorite tuning to play in?
So my first guitar was, I think it was like, oh god, it was like some shitty Les Paul Jr. or something. It wasn't
Gotcha.
like anything special. Like, it did work. It got the job done for what I was doing. So,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
heavy. Even
that,
like theirs are heavy as fuck. The Les Pauls. Yeah, those are cool guitars though. I mean, good beginner guitars for sure.
yeah.
XJ Ho. Oh wait, did you say your favorite tuning? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I didn't say that. Favorite tuning. So I kind of go between my favorite guitars to play are either 7 or 8 strings. So 7 strings, I definitely say drop A is my favorite tuning. That's what I have this guitar in right here. And then for 8 strings, I usually just keep it with, you know, the 7 strings drop A, and then the 8th string is a low E. Those are probably my favorite tunings for sure.
Yeah, heavy, yo, very heavy. Miles Dimitri Baker is in the chat.
Hey,
So
let's go.
what's going
What's up,
on?
Miles?
Yeah, he says up and coming ripper right here. Yeah, you right.
Hear that, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute legend. Miles is fucking insane.
Yeah, you're not lying. So are there any? Okay, I cannot pronounce this band name. I'm sorry. Necrophagist or
Necrophagus?
Yeah, or Obscura covers that we can hear this year. I'm sorry about that.
Actually, for a little bit, I was kind of taking a look at Stab Wound by Necrophagus for a while. I never really got around to like practicing it at all, but it's a fun song to play for sure. So maybe if I ever decide to practice that and get it up to speed, then I could do a cover of Stab Wound. But yeah, that's pretty much it on that. As for Obscura, I haven't really listened to them all that much, but they're still really good.
Cool. So there's definitely some options there. Backguard Guitar says, video tips for shooting any guitar videos. So I guess he's a fellow content creator. Yeah. Looking for advice.
So honestly, I literally just sit in my room and record videos on my phone. I'm not even gonna lie. That's like all I do right now. So I don't really know all that much when it comes to like filming. Oh my god, cat.
It's a kitty.
Yeah, I wish my cat was in here right now, but I don't know what he's doing. But...
yeah, he's just wanting to leave the room, so I'm having him say hello really quick.
Yeah. My cat hates when I hold him, so.
Oh, he's very, very confused. Yeah, he's not really a fan either. He's kind of an independent guy right here.
Yeah.
But Paul Barry Ashworth says, what classic death metal band inspired you the most? I know we kind of went through that a bit earlier.
Yeah, so as far as like the classic death metal stuff goes, I don't really know if I'd say I've listened to it all that much, other than like Necrophagist and things like that. Because you know, I'm mainly like a deathcore person. That's just what I got into, and then I got into Rings of Saturn, and then I got into like all the instrumental prog stuff, and that's like where pretty much all my inspiration comes from. But yeah, all like the tech death stuff, technical death metal stuff, that's really cool. I'd probably say like my favorite band under like that genre would definitely have to be Archspire for sure. Like they are just absolutely insane with their speed and everything. Just like it's crazy. And I did see them live I think last year in April. They were insane, absolutely insane.
That's so dope. Nice. Yeah, they had to be really, really energetic in concert too.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So let's see. I know there was another comment. Oh yeah, a couple comments here. Do you gent? And what got you into the more proggy type of stuff?
So do I gent? I think. I think I do. I like to assume that I do. But yeah, that's that. And then what got me into the deathcore and prog stuff? So I mean, to be honest, I didn't even start listening to metal until I like started high school, which was like 4.5 years ago, something like that. So I didn't start really like listening to it until then. And you know, I was listening to like, you know, some of like the more well-known ones, like, you know, Gojira, Avenged Sevenfold, Lamb of God, Pantera, you know, that kind of stuff. I was listening to that a lot. And then one day, randomly, I was like, you know what? let's try listening to Cannibal Corpse. Let's try some death metal for once. It was something completely new to me at the time. So when I first heard it, I think I was listening to Hammer Smash Face by Cannibal Corpse, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Then the vocals came in, and at the time, it wasn't really my thing. I wasn't like used to it, so I wasn't really on board with it. But eventually, I did. I did kind of grow into it, and then from there, that's when I found deathcore. And then, so I was listening to bands like Whitechapel, Chelsea Grin, Suicide Silence, Infinite Annihilator, all that stuff, and the deathcore rabbit hole keeps getting deeper to this day. I still listen to it all the time. And yeah, I'm even wearing a Suicide Silence shirt right now. You can't really see it, but yeah, I love this shirt right here.
Shout out to them.
And then as for I forgot to mention the prog stuff, but as for like the prog stuff, so it was when I was still like getting into deathcore and stuff. It was when I randomly discovered Animals as Leaders one day, and first song I heard, I think it was Arithmophobia. And when I heard Tosin doing the thumping stuff on the A string, like I literally thought it was a bass at first, and I was like, hold on, this song sounds cool. So I listened to it, instantly fell in love with it, and I fell in love with Animals as Leaders. And then from them, that's when I found like all the other bands like Polyphia, Intervals, Unprocessed, all that other prog instrumental stuff. And yeah, that's kind of just how it started, and I still listen to all that stuff today still.
Very cool. Yeah, the rabbit hole goes on and on and on, and
it's
genres
still going.
They're constantly like mixing and expanding. Like Polyphia kind of came up with their own genre, and Intervals too. They're like so. Aaron is the lead of Intervals, correct? Aaron, I believe that.
Yeah, Aaron Marshall.
Yeah. No, he's got such a talent, honestly. I mean,
yeah, he's an incredible player, really.
It's incredible. He does like so many different styles too, like Belverde. That one song is I don't know if you've heard that one, but it's definitely not metal or anything like that. It's pretty cool. We got one more question from the chat here that says, "Are you hyped for the new Periphery album?"
Yeah, honestly, I haven't listened to much Periphery beforehand, but I did listen to their new songs that they released, and they sound pretty sick. It definitely does gent, even though the name of the album is called Gent Is Not a Genre. Yeah, it definitely does gent. So I will be listening to it when it comes out for sure. So
very nice. So I will ask you one more question here just to kind of top off our interview, and thank you for your fan questions as well. If you've got anything you want to promote in the future, definitely just let me know. Oh, says Cait, we can't see you. Can you see me now?
Yeah. I I can see you. It's just you're like lagging a little bit. The connection's a little wonky, but I can still hear you though.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Sometimes what helps with that is if you turn your mic off when I'm speaking and vice versa. Sorry, I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning. But yeah, hopefully I'm not freezing up or anything. So one more question for your interview. If you could manifest going on tour with any artist coming up in the next, let's say, 3 years, who would it be?
Well, I think the obvious answer would be Rings of Saturn, since that's like my biggest inspiration ever. But besides them,
yes.
I'd probably have to say like either like Archspire or Lorna Shore, probably. Just somebody like that, some bands like that are also bands that I really, really love in the death metal, deathcore scene, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, those bands are like killing it. There's a bunch of other bands too that I would love to do, but yeah, that's pretty much that.
Solid, and I could see that happening for sure. So definitely
maybe only time will tell.
Yeah, just keep at it, do everything that you're already doing, and more collaborations to come. Lots of good stuff. So yeah, everybody, this interview will be posted on IG, on YouTube as well. Of course, all choppy parts will be edited out. Sorry about that, but thanks for tuning in, and definitely check out the JD Shred collab if you have not done that yet. Good stuff, good stuff. But yeah, it was great chatting chatting with ya.
Same with you.
Cool. Well, cheers. Take care, everybody. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me still.
Yeah, I can. You're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, we're tuning off, everybody. I know there's, like, people tuning in right now for some reason.
Yeah,
like,
that always happens with me whenever I do a live. It's like as soon as I'm about to end, every single person starts joining. I'm like, why?
What's up with that? Like I said, it will be posted elsewhere if you are just tuning in and if you happen to miss it. But yeah, have a great day, Luke.